Celebrate a championship when you finally get home at midnight or 1 or 2 or whatever it is?
Well, the hard part was it was a weeknight, and I was trying to find some people to celebrate with. But like I told our guys, I wanted them to be in that moment and enjoy it, and to see that all those people on the court getting to celebrate together, and our guys doing it, and just pure joy in their eyes and their face. And I went back and watched the celebration somewhat because I was running around doing some things, and so I maybe didn't get as dial in. But just to see those guys that happy and that joyful together, and all of them, and it just meant so much. And that's why you felt a pressure to win that game, because of I knew the kind of moment it could be, and that's a memory that, first of all, you don't get to do that very much. Or, you look around the country because the schedule has to be right, the league stands have to be right. You can't if we win, we're champions, but they have to play one more game. So everything has to come together for you to have those experiences of cutting down the net like that, and in the regular season, and so. And because that's the only time you can do it at home. You win a tournament, you're out on the road. You don't get to do it with all your people, and they, probably don't let them all on the court or that kind of thing. But
Some of them.
Yeah, some of them, I guess. It was just such a moment for them that I was so happy about, and to be able to soak it up and soak it in. But it's also one of those things that we're still going, so we enjoyed that. We enjoyed the finishing the league that way, but we're not finished with the league, and so that takes you back to, all right, we got to keep competing, and you got to recover from this. Now, recovering from that, probably thank God we had an extra day, because we probably needed a little extra time to recover from the emotion of that, because it's unique, and sure, you can't just pretend like, hey, we're moving on right away. You gotta enjoy it and see. But now we gotta recalibrate and stay with our competitiveness and stay with the way we've been playing and the momentum that we have, because momentum is a real thing, and you don't want to lose that. And we know, number one, we're going into a place that is sold out. It's senior night, and they're a great team, and they're the only team we haven't beat in the league, and. They're as good as, they're a top 25 level team, and that's what they are. Whether they're there right now or not, I know what they are. They're great, they got great coaches, great players, and we're going to have to play one of our best games to compete, and that's what it's about for us.
How unique is that? Where, obviously for the standings and stuff for you guys, you already have the number 1 seed locked up, but you're obviously fighting for NCAA tournament seeding. There's still reasons to want to win the game, but obviously I don't know if you're going to play all 5 starters 40 minutes. How do you have bigger things, the tournament the next week, the NCAA tournament? How do you approach this game?
You can't approach it where there's anything else, and that's what we've done such a great job of, is that we just got to go compete, because, like I said, that we're going to have to play an A+ game to be in that game and to compete in that environment and all those things. And so that's totally our focus, not all the other outside stuff. And there's a purity to that I like, and because outside stuff, no matter how much you try to keep it out of there, it always creeps in. We felt the pressure of wanting to win that game so badly that becomes outside stuff that's on your mind. And I saw a little bit of tension there but we fought through it and accomplished the mission.
You guys had to, you've talked about it, run the gauntlet and had, so many games in such a short time. Does that almost prepare you more to go into the Mountain West tournament where there's games back to back to back?
I think, you have to respond so quickly in those kind of situations. So that has to help you, because I've had a team that's been able to do it, which is so hard.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do. And so, but we'll cross that bridge next week.
With, E-Man, I guess E-Man coming back, you've lost 2 games in the last 90 some odd days, and one of them he wasn't healthy and the other one he missed.
Right.
He looked to be a little bit back in a rhythm, especially his aggressiveness on the offensive end.
Right.
Kind of probably a rhetorical question, but how much better does he make you?
Oh yeah, he's one of the best players in the league, and when you take one of those guys, and a credit to the guys, credit to Max and Lucas and Najee and, especially, and then those other guys that picked us up. And everybody had to kind of carry an extra load when we didn't have him, because you can't, there's nobody in this league that you take off one of their best players and they don't have a dip. And I thought I thought that was a, crucial part of our season to be able to step up without him, because he does mean everything to his team. And when you look at all the things that he does, you forget, you're like, well, he can guard some of their best players. He can rebound. He can go post when we need him. He gets the assists, and he's been that guy that's made the shot, that set up the shot almost every one of those games. Like, if he doesn't make that shot with a minute to go, we're not in that position to win that game. And he's done that so many times. So yeah, he means the world to this team, and to see him trending in the right direction, both physically and the way he's playing, and that's exciting.
I was going to say, you said that you're going to have to wait to see how his knee would respond to playing time. I remember his first game back, you left him on the court for 5 minutes. You could tell he was kind of winded there.
Yeah.
But he didn't really seem that way.
No, he looks like the conditioning's getting better. And, those guys, they can do 10 push-ups and they're back in shape. I mean, they're remarkable athletes, and they're college kids too. They're young. Their bodies can get back quickly, and so yeah, I've seen that looking better. But with a thing like this, sometimes, I mean, it's just day to day. It's always day to day, and so you just don't want to show up and then he's really swollen up. But it does, from an outsider's look, it looks like he's getting more and more comfortable, feeling better, and conditioning better. All those things are going the right direction.
You've talked about the schedule and how you guys had to play. The two teams you didn't play were 11th and 9th in the standings, and maybe one of the better years the league's ever had, to have maybe the hardest schedule. And then you see, like last night, Wyoming lose, or a place where you know how hard it is to win down there. Right. I mean, are we almost maybe not even realizing how impressive or giving enough credit to what you're doing?
I agree, and I mean, I really think that. And you can say that when you win. If you lose, like I said the other night, you can't say that. But I mean, think about it. What a break not to play San Diego State twice, or what a break not to play Wyoming twice, or I mean, we saw how good those teams are, and so that's just the way the schedule is, and you just got to deal with it. But what they've accomplished and the way they've done it, and we went through those times where like I always go back to, like, at Utah State on Thursday and then at San Diego State on Saturday, and put those games by themselves with a week to prepare, and so hard to win there. I mean, I just remember when I got here, weren't they telling me, like, oh, you've lost 20 straight at Utah State? Wasn't it something like crazy like that? And to go in there and win that one by itself, and then be able to flip around in less than 48 hours and play at San Diego State, one of the hardest places in the country to play, and to do those kind of things back to back, and then you got to come back and respond to another one. I think there was another great one right after that you had to play. So yeah, it really was remarkable what these guys were able to do, and it shows, because you got 4 or 5 or 6 great teams right behind you that weren't able to do what they did that night after night like that.
Are you expecting some upsets in this conference tournament? How much scoreboard watching are you doing? You saw last night with Vegas.
We haven't moved on to the tournament in our mind, and like I said, that's probably why we are better at staying in those moments, because I haven't even, I'm not just being flippant or coy with you guys. We really don't do that, and when we haven't done that, we've done a better job of that. And like I said, these players have been in the moment better than any team I've ever coached, and maybe I've become better at that because I've always tried to accommodate you guys, and hey, we need an answer for this because we won't see you, but I haven't even given those answers, so it's probably kept me in a better in the moment place. So yeah, we'll like I said, we'll cross that bridge and give you those answers later. But because all we care about right now is the not even Colorado State, the prep for Colorado State first.
The bigger picture, though, is this team built for the postseason starting next weekend? What does that even mean? Is there a difference between postseason and regular season basketball?
I think we're built. I don't know if there's necessarily that, but some of you look at our strengths. our strengths are built where we can beat anybody because of how good we can be defensively, how good we are in the class, and now our offense is really going in the right direction. But you know, but you're also a team that can kind of lose to anybody. I mean, that's the way college basketball seems to be right now. And you know, in the old days, it never seemed like that. Like, you know, you wouldn't see well, a perfect example is top 6 teams all lost. It's never happened before. That tells you something right there. Like if the best teams in the country can get beat all on the same night, that there's a parity in college basketball that we've never seen before. And part of that is that extra year of COVID. You look at like our league. I was just talking about that. Our league. I mean, how many great players are here that maybe wouldn't be here? And it also, like, Tyson Dagenhart is so unique because everybody's got so many veteran players that not many freshmen are getting those opportunities, and not many freshmen are good enough to play because you got all these 22, 23-year-olds. He's one of the only ones that is. And, you know, that gives you something that nobody else has, too, so that's pretty special. But it's just, that's the way it is all around. You know, like San Francisco, for example, they just popped in my head. You know, they got a guy that their best guard, he's been there like 5 years, and maybe even longer. You know, I'm serious. He might, you know, when people say, what year is he a senior? Oh, well, he might be a 6th-year senior. And there's guys like that all over the country that make these teams that are really, really good all over the place. And I mean, you know, it's an eye test too. You walk in and watch that Nevada team, and you're going, oh my gosh, is that guy good, and that guy good, and that guy good. Well, they're all older guys that have been around a lot of basketball, and I mean, it doesn't look like kids playing basketball that, you know, when you watch freshmen play, a lot of times they look still like young kids. And these are grown men playing basketball everywhere, and great players everywhere too. So I think that's a long kind of bird walking answer, but I think that's what's maybe changed in college basketball a bit, is that there's so many teams that can beat anybody, and you see that everywhere.
What would be your message to Bronco Nation? Just, I mean, not even talking about like the post-game stuff or what happened, but as we went through the season, you just saw more and more people fill the stands, and it culminated in a packed house that was super loud. That you're always talking about bringing the energy, and they brought it that night.
Well, they did. That was the loudest I think I've ever heard the arena when they missed that free throw and Abu got the rebound, got fouled. I was like, whoa, what happened? You know, like that took on a whole nother decibel that I haven't heard there before. But, you know, my message would be like, I think everyone that came and watched us play this year, number one, they had what a great college basketball game they saw almost every night, and they saw just guys that played so hard. They saw this, and they walked out of here going, that was awesome. So that's what we need consistently, because it makes a difference to have that kind of home court advantage. You know, we've won games because of that, and that you know, the fans should take a lot of pride in that. We've won games on the blue because false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty. I mean, how many times have we heard that? That's the same kind of effect it has in extra mile, and so it's huge. It's huge, and you know, hopefully it just continues to grow because it makes it a special place.